In the world of automobiles, where titans like Tesla, Toyota, and BYD dominate global headlines and command billions in resources, one would expect the next earth-shaking breakthrough to come from Silicon Valley, Tokyo, or Shenzhen, yet in a quiet town in Sweden, inside a company that started with just one man's dream and a garage workshop. The very future of mobility may have just been rewritten. Christian von Koenigsegg, a visionary often described as part engineer, part dreamer, and part mad scientist, has unveiled what he calls the dark matter engine, a creation so compact, so impossibly powerful, and so radical in its design that it threatens to unravel everything we thought we knew about cars, about electric propulsion, and about the balance of power in the global automotive industry. To understand why this machine is causing sleepless nights for Elon Musk and for the leaders of BYD, Toyota, Honda, and nearly every other automaker, we have to understand not only what it is, but the story of where it comes from. Because Koenigsegg is not just a car company, it is a philosophy forged in defiance of logic itself. Back in 1994, Christian von Koenigsegg was only 22 years old, without the internet, without investors, and without any of the billion-dollar backing that startups today enjoy. But he had one dream: to build the world's fastest car. With sketches on paper, a handful of engineers, and unshakable belief, he began creating machines that not only rivaled but often surpassed the legends of Italy and Germany. His first production car, the CC8S, stunned the world in 2002 by entering the Guinness Book of Records for the most powerful engine ever fitted to a production vehicle. It was supposed to be impossible, yet he did it. From that point forward, Koenigsegg became synonymous not just with speed, but with doing the impossible. When the world thought only Formula One could master carbon fiber monocoques, Koenigsegg brought them to road cars. When everyone assumed camshafts were an unshakable part of engine design, Koenigsegg invented the free-valve engine, eliminating them entirely and rewriting a century of combustion history. When supercars relied on heavy gearboxes to manage monstrous power, Koenigsegg stunned the world with its direct drive transmission, removing gears altogether and still surpassing 400 kilometers per hour. And when other manufacturers cautiously tested carbon composites, Koenigsegg built the world's first fully carbon fiber wheels. Every move was a statement, not just of innovation, but of audacity, proof that a small independent company could outthink giants with thousands of engineers and billions in funding. It is this spirit that has now given birth to the dark matter engine. But what exactly is this creation that sounds more like a weapon from science fiction than an automotive motor? The dark matter engine is not a combustion engine, nor a simple electric motor. It is a radical axial flux motor, a design far removed from the radial flux motors used by Tesla, BYD, and most EVs today. Axial flux motors are pancake-thin, incredibly compact, and capable of producing astonishing torque in a smaller, lighter package. Koenigsegg's dark matter engine takes this to the extreme, weighing less than half of today's EV motors while delivering torque so brutal that engineers compare it to the thrust of a rocket booster. Where traditional motors bulk up as they grow more powerful, this one remains impossibly lean, embodying the very essence of its cosmic namesake, dark matter, invisible yet binding the universe with unimaginable strength. But this motor is not just about torque-to-weight ratios. It is a complete rethinking of how power should flow in a vehicle. Instead of relying on heavy battery packs and energy-draining systems, Koenigsegg designed a high-discharge custom battery array that feeds energy in violent bursts, unleashing immediate thrust without delay, without lag, without compromise. It is the closest thing to strapping a jet engine to an EV while retaining the smooth silence of electric drive. But even power is meaningless without control. And here lies another Koenigsegg breakthrough. The integrated thermal management system, adapted from aerospace and space shuttle technology, circulates heat through advanced thermal pipes, ensuring the motor never overheats even under maximum stress. In traditional EVs, heat buildup is the silent killer, limiting acceleration, draining efficiency, and shortening lifespan. But in Koenigsegg's design, heat becomes an afterthought, leaving the driver free to summon full power whenever they demand it. Imagine pressing the accelerator and feeling the instant surge of a spacecraft leaving orbit, yet without gears, without delay, without noise, and without vibration. That is the promise of the dark matter engine. But what makes this development terrifying for the giants of the auto industry is not only its technical brilliance, but its implications for the future. Tesla has built its empire on the belief that batteries and radial flux motors represent the final frontier. BYD, the Chinese titan, has scaled battery production to levels the world has never seen, betting that whoever controls supply chains will control the future of cars. Honda has unveiled its hyper-hybrid monster. Toyota has doubled down on hydrogen, while legacy manufacturers from Mercedes to Ford scramble to reinvent themselves as electrified brands. Yet, from a hangar in Sweden, a small company of fewer than 500 employees may have just leapfrogged them all. If the dark matter engine remains exclusive to multimillion-dollar hypercars, it will still go down as a legendary creation. But if its principles spread, if this axial flux motor becomes affordable, scalable, and adaptable to mass-market vehicles, then the entire future of the automotive industry is in jeopardy. Charging infrastructure, battery limitations, range anxiety, these problems suddenly look outdated when faced with a motor so powerful, so efficient, and so lightweight that it erases the compromises of EVs overnight. For Elon Musk, who has spent nearly 2 decades convincing the world that batteries and software define the future, this development is not just competition, it is existential. For BYD, which has invested billions into scaling conventional EV tech, this represents a potential Achilles heel. And for consumers, it raises a tantalizing possibility that the future of cars will not be a dull world of standardized, heavy EVs crawling from charger to charger, but a thrilling new age where hyper-efficiency, aerospace-inspired technology, and uncompromising performance define even the most accessible vehicles. Christian von Koenigsegg has always said he does not build cars to compete. He builds them to inspire, to prove that engineering still has uncharted frontiers. But with the dark matter engine, inspiration may not be enough to contain the consequences, because if this technology spreads, the auto industry will be forced into a revolution it did not plan for. The only question now is whether this breakthrough will remain the crown jewel of a hypercar boutique, or whether it will ignite a cascade of innovation that reshapes transportation forever. And so, as Tesla strategists and BYD executives huddle in boardrooms, as journalists speculate and enthusiasts dream, one chilling thought lingers in the air. Perhaps the future of mobility will not be decided by the giants with billions in their war chests, but by a quiet Swedish company in a converted fighter jet hangar, after the invisible force. For decades, the world has been told that the future of speed, power, and efficiency lies in electric vehicles, that the roar of engines would fade into the silence of batteries, that instant torque and smooth acceleration were the peak of innovation. And companies like Tesla built their entire empires on this promise, while giants like BYD, Mercedes, and Porsche rushed to follow. But in the shadows of this electric revolution, Koenigsegg, the small but relentless Swedish hypercar maker known for rewriting the laws of automotive physics, was quietly building something so radical that it may have just shattered the very foundation of everything we thought we knew about cars. Because what they revealed to the world was not just another hypercar, not just another concept, but an engine so advanced, so impossibly efficient, so devastatingly powerful, that it doesn't just rival electric vehicles. It threatens to make even Tesla's best technology look like yesterday's news. They call it the dark matter engine, a name fitting for a power source that behaves unlike anything else on Earth, an engine that doesn't roar with wasted fuel or hum with oversized batteries, but instead delivers its fury with the precision and silence of a weapon designed for another planet. Because unlike traditional petrol or diesel engines that waste enormous energy as heat and vibration, unlike even EVs that rely on massive battery packs prone to overheating, weight issues, and long charging times, the dark matter engine is built on principles so efficient that nearly every drop of input energy is translated directly into forward motion. No gears, no delays, no wasted seconds between thought and acceleration, making pressing the accelerator feel less like driving a car and more like commanding raw physics itself, a rocket disguised as a hypercar. And when Koenigsegg tested it on track, The results were not just impressive, they were terrifying, because this machine didn't just keep up with icons like the Ferrari SF90 or Bugatti Chiron. It demolished them, blasting from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in a mind-bending 1.8 seconds, sustaining its insane acceleration well past 400 kilometers per hour without overheating, without power loss, without so much as a mechanical whimper. And while Tesla's Plaid and Rimac Nevera were hailed as the kings of electric speed, both relying on enormous batteries and complex cooling systems, the dark matter engine outran them effortlessly, lighter, faster, more efficient, and astonishingly stable, with regenerative braking systems that not only recovered energy but made the system smarter with every lap, feeding back into itself like a living organism that grows stronger as it runs. And engineers reported the unthinkable, that even after 40 minutes of full-throttle racing, a scenario that pushes EVs into thermal shutdown and makes combustion engines cry with heat, the dark matter engine stayed cool, precise, and unwavering, like a bullet fired at the horizon with no intention of slowing down. And this is where the real revolution begins, because it is not just about raw speed. It is about a design so simplified and elegant that it changes the entire equation of car ownership and automotive engineering. No clutch, no gearboxes, no filters, no engine oil, no constant mechanical wear. Just direct, raw power delivered through a system with fewer parts, less weight, and almost no maintenance. Meaning that what today sits inside a multi-million-dollar hypercar could tomorrow find its way into everyday vehicles. And if that happens, imagine a future where family sedans accelerate faster than supercars, SUVs travel farther on smaller batteries, trucks haul immense loads without overheating, and maintenance becomes a fraction of today's cost. A future where performance is no longer defined by who has the biggest battery or the loudest engine, but by who can master the smartest, lightest, and most efficient system. And this is why experts around the world are calling Koenigsegg's dark matter engine not just an innovation but a paradigm shift, because the ripple effects are already being felt, with Tesla, BYD, Toyota, and Porsche all suddenly facing the possibility that the future they were building may have just been rewritten overnight, as the auto industry realizes that batteries alone will not define the next generation. That perhaps the true revolution lies in hybridized systems of unmatched efficiency, engines cooled like rockets, engines that deliver more with less. And in that sense, Koenigsegg has done what only true innovators dare to do. They have looked at the accepted future and refused to accept it, building instead a machine that doesn't just challenge the competition but challenges the very assumptions of automotive progress. And so while today the dark matter engine exists in the realm of hypercars, tomorrow its DNA may spread into every category of vehicle, changing not just how we drive but how we think about motion itself. And when future generations look back at this moment, they may not see it as the era where Tesla and EVs conquered the road, but as the moment when Koenigsegg, with a single engine, cracked open the next chapter of human transportation, proving that the future is not batteries, not combustion, not even hybrids as we know them, but something beyond, something born of relentless innovation, something as mysterious and powerful as its name, dark matter.